Hello there, everybody. It's Tyler here. Just a quick little heads up before we actually get into the episode. In this episode, there's one part where we talk about the Horizon Forbidden West news and how Sony was not offering a upgrade path of sorts for the game. Shortly after we recorded this episode, a couple hours later, Sony reversed course on their decision, and they have said that they will be offering free upgrades for the PS4 to PS5 version of Horizon Forbidden West. And in addition, the any future first-party exclusive titles, such as God of War and Gran Turismo 7, they will also have $10 upgrade paths for PS4 to PS5 upgrades. So didn't want to scrap the whole topic because it was a good discussion, and since this news came out shortly after the episode, still wanted to we didn't want to just be out of date entirely and just irrelevant with that topic, since they provided an update shortly after. So just putting this here at the front of the episode, that way you all are aware that we know what happened. We are, we're happy it happened, very excited that it happened. It's a good move that Sony did this, and that way we aren't just ignoring that update on the situation. So with all that being said, thank you all so very much for listening. Hope you all understand. Hope you also enjoy the conversation that we do have about the topic, and let's get on into the episode.
The time draws near.
Get ready.
Hello there, everybody, and welcome to episode 23 of the Play to Win podcast. My name is Keiran, and I'm, of course, joined by Tyler. As always, how's it going?
It's going pretty well this week. It's been a pretty good week. Work that I managed to catch up on a lot of the work I was behind on at work. So it ended up being pretty chill towards the end of the week, which is good, which is very good. Played some fun games this week. And yeah, I'm just excited for stuff coming in the future, to be honest. There's a lot of gaming stuff in the very near future that is very exciting. And this week made me realize, oh dear gosh, things are about to get very overwhelming. So yeah, good times all around, really. And it all starts literally next week.
Yeah. No, I'm looking forward to some of the things that are going to be happening soon, especially something that we'll I think briefly touch on. But if you want to know more about what we're going to briefly touch on, watch Tyler's video that he put up yesterday about his predictions for the PlayStation event that is happening on the 9th.
Yes, Thursday the 9th. I forgot the times. It's 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific time. It's going to be a 40-minute long show, and after the show they said they're gonna give some more deep dives and stuff, but I made some predictions about what I think could be there, what I kind of hope will be there. I was kind of realistic with my predictions, just brought up things that we have been mentioned in the past year and all, or years, and just I think it's time, or this may be there, this might not be there, so give it a watch.
Exactly. And while you're on YouTube, you can subscribe to the Play to Win podcast and take the notification bell so you know when new videos go live. Also, be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Play to Win Game for any updates on the show. We post when we put out new stuff, just post random stuff. So head on over there and give us a follow. But on this episode of the Play to Win podcast, we will be talking about the Horizon Forbidden West purchase model, the rumor but all but confirmed thing that the Game Boy and Game Boy Color games are possibly going to be coming to the Switch, and the recent boycott of Twitch and its effect on viewership. However, before that, we do have a few brief mentions to get through. Not a huge list, but not tiny either. First up, a new Destiny update adds crossplay voice chat, which I thought I should put in there just because Destiny now is crossplay, and I know that a lot of people take advantage of that. So if you are playing with people on other platforms, you can now talk to them in game.
I actually thought the crossplay voice chat was there day one with the crossplay update, so I was like, "Oh, okay, well, kind of an oversight there. Interesting, but I'm happy it's there now."
Yeah. PlayStation have announced their PS Plus lineup of games for September, which feature Overcooked All You Can Eat, Hitman 2, and Predator Hunting Grounds, which is a game that I actually really want to try. So if you're on PlayStation, good for you. It's a pretty solid month.
Yep. Important to note, Overcooked All You Can Eat. It's the PS5 exclusive one.
Okay.
But if you are a PlayStation 4 owner, you can just, if you go on the PlayStation like store website, you should be able to add like the PS5 exclusive one to your library. That way, when you do get a PS5, you got it there ready to go. So keep that in mind. And yeah, it does look like a nice month. As I told Keiran before we started the show, I will now have both Hitman 1 and 2 in my PlayStation Plus library, just like I have Rise of the Tomb Raider and Shadow of the Tomb Raider in my PlayStation Plus library. And I've played all of an hour or an hour and a half of Rise. Haven't finished it. Need to go back and do that.
Nice. The Game Pass September games have also been announced. You are going to be able to download Craftopia, Final Fantasy 13.
Woo woo!
Woo. I don't really care about Final Fantasy, to be fair.
I know, but 13, I want to play that game. I just want to play that game, man.
Signs of the Sojourner. I don't know.
Yes.
Yep.
You said it right the second time. Sojourner.
Okay. Surgeon Simulator 2, which I'm very excited for. I'm definitely going to be downloading that. Crown Trick, Breath Edge, Nuclear Throne, The Artful Escape.
Woo woo woo! I know you're not on the Artful Escape, but that one is looking dope.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know what that is, and then I saw the picture of it. I'm like, oh yeah, I know exactly what that game is.
Yeah, that's the one that I'm all in on.
THQ Nordic has announced that they will be having a showcase on September 17th at 12 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. British time. In that, they are set to reveal 6 games, which don't know what they are, but I am excited to see what they have. I've been seeing like a lot of people like time splitters, come on, time splitters. I'm like, no.
They already announced that it's happening. You're not going to see anything. No. They announced that it's happening like months ago. Yeah. It's too early to see anything substantial. If they show a trailer, it's a CG trailer confirming that it's just in development, as we already know. Just wait, be patient. You'll see the game in due time.
Exactly. I'm actually hoping for a new Darksiders game.
You think there's going to be a new Darksiders game? I mean, I've never played any of them, but I kind of thought the reception to 3 was kind of tepid.
Yeah, I think a little bit. I mean, I like the franchise. I haven't finished any of the games. I will point that out. Like, I've played them. I enjoy them, so I want a new one, but I've never finished any of them. But no, I want another Darksiders game. I hope we get one.
Okay, cool.
One of the more weird announcements that we have in here, Xbox has partnered with the England football team for something, or is now like the official sponsor or something. I don't know. I saw this headline earlier this week, and I was like, that's weird.
That is very weird. I don't get that one at all, but okay. Do your thing.
Yeah. Sticking with Xbox, at the Tokyo Games Show, Xbox is apparently going to be making an exclusive announcement.
They said they're gonna have a showcase of some sort, right? And like during the showcase, they'll make an exclusive announcement.
Yep.
I only hope that this showcase actually has a point to it, aside, unlike the Gamescom showcase.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, different expectations were set, but still didn't need to happen. But I wonder what this exclusive announcement could be. And the fact that they're saying it like this kind of is like, it seems like they're trying to drum up hype. And I hope that whatever they're trying to drum up hype for is actually worth
it. My theory would be that they are acquiring a Japanese studio. Is probably the thing that would like most. I'm out of focus. Would probably be the thing that would most easily come to mind. I made it so
that
much
worse. Made it way worse. At first, it was like slightly blurry glasses to like, oh dear God, I'm blind now. Your camera is super out of focus. Yep. Jeez.
Do you want to focus on me, maybe? Instead, kind of. Can I go back?
What? It kind of helps a bit.
My camera. Come on. Full focus. There we go.
There we go. Now it's better. Now we got like the HD eyesight and everything.
Yeah. Thanks, camera, for that distraction. But yeah, I am going to assume that it's the announcement they are acquiring a Japanese developer. It would make the most sense for here, I think.
Yeah, either that or like maybe some big Japanese game is coming to the platform.
Yeah.
Who knows? But yeah, curious to see what it is. Hope it's up to the hype.
Yeah. Dr. Lupo and the Tim the Tatman have left Twitch for YouTube Gaming. They have both signed exclusivity contracts with YouTube.
I know of them. I know nothing about them aside from that they are popular Twitch streamers or were popular Twitch streamers, and good for them, I guess.
Yep. I have no interest in this whatsoever. It's just interesting, but we'll talk more about Twitch a little bit later on.
Yeah.
The Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl release date has potentially leaked on the Nintendo eShop. Game is possibly coming out on October 5th, and the box art also leaked and reveals Korra, Aang, and Ren and Stimpy.
Yep. So, I mean, we kind of already knew Korra and Aang were in the game because if you looked at the former box art was had silhouettes of all the characters. If you look, you can clearly see what was supposed to be Korra and Aang. Ren and Stimpy, I think that's a new, no one kind of knew that they were in it or assumed. Yeah. Well, people might have assumed they or hoped they were going to be in it, but no one kind of knew for sure Korra and Aang were. So that's cool.
Cyberpunk 2077 and The Witcher 3 next-gen updates are not guaranteed this year, according to CD Projekt Red. They had previously said that they will be out this year. However, now they are not so sure.
Do your thing. Do your
thing.
Take your time. Just take your time, guys. Do what you got to do.
Basically, yeah. I mean, I'm really excited for The Witcher 3's next-gen update, but don't rush it.
Yeah. I still have Cyberpunk on my external hard drive. That way, when the next gen version does come out, I can upgrade to it, and I'm not going to do another full playthrough, but just mess around in it and just see how the game looks. And depending on how that does, honestly, I think me doing another playthrough of that game will be determined by how substantial that next gen upgrade is. It really increases, really improves the visuals. Excuse me, and increases civilian density and stuff like that. It makes the city feel more alive than the PS4 version back compat on PS5 did. Then maybe I'll do another playthrough. But I mean, as I said before, my issues with the game kind of stem more so from the systems and how the game plays itself. I think the game is just a fine game, and there's nothing really there to pull me back in for a second playthrough. But I'll probably just give it a nice hour or two whenever that happens, and then be all right, cool, delete. Now I can delete you. I don't want to have to download anything else for you again.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm exactly in that boat, but I probably will do another playthrough, but I'm not expecting, the next gen update to entirely change the game or fix everything.
No, it's not going to.
Yeah, and I am far more excited for The Witcher 3's next gen patch than I am for Cyberpunk's.
That might be what gets me to play Witcher 3, to be honest. Although my thing with Witcher 3 is the fact that it's the third entry in the series, and I'd rather play 1 and 2 and then get to 3. Although I know 3 lets you do pick choices at the beginning of the game and stuff. And because it's the third one, there's already all the previous story baggage, and I'd rather not have to deal with all that and feel this is a person I should know, but I don't know them.
Yeah, I mean, I've only played 3. I haven't played 1 or 2, and I don't really have any interest in going back to play 1 or 2. But
yeah,
The Witcher 3 is in my top 10 games I've ever played. It's really good.
Yeah, I'll see. I'll think about it.
Yeah. Amazon UK has cancelled a lot of the pre-orders for the Halo Infinite Elite Controller 2. I assume this is due to stock issues. They haven't gotten enough. So, because I'd seen that they had them available 2 or 3 days ago, I think, and I was gonna go and pre-order one, but then I can't remember why I didn't actually. But then I saw this yesterday. I'm like, I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah, that would have been sad if you pre-ordered it and it was just actually you're not getting it.
China is limiting gaming to just 3 hours per week by law for under 18s. So that actually kind of sucks.
Yeah, I mean, Keiran and I were discussing whether or not to have this be a main story this week, and we it probably would be if we knew more about the situation and all. Like we had just both heard about it and maybe read like one brief thing, but we don't have anywhere near enough knowledge to like have an actual informed discussion on the topic. Um, but yeah, it's an interesting thing. I'm sure it's done, trying to try and curb gaming addiction over there in China and stuff. It's an interesting decision for sure.
Yep. Dead Space, the Dead Space reboot got an early look with the devs earlier this week. They posted a bunch of videos with like tech demo kind of stuff, which I haven't watched because I don't really intend on buying it, but I probably will at some point.
Yeah, it was a cool live stream they did. I didn't watch it. I saw some clips of it, and what I saw, I was like, man, I'm like, what you have here looks good, like really good visually and stuff. And they were saying like, yeah, like this is all early stuff. Like, of course, like things are subject to change and so on and so forth. But they were like even showing like the dev type footage where it's like you got the character in like the gray box rooms and stuff like that. Like that type early development. It's like early concept art and stuff. It's like, hey, it's awesome that they're giving like such an early behind the scenes, behind the curtain look at the game. That's something that if you follow stuff in the game industry for a while, that does not happen. That very rarely, if ever, happens. So it's just cool they did that.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I honestly, I might get it. I don't know. Like, I'm definitely leaning right now on the side of I'm probably not going to get it because I don't really like that genre. But I don't know.
You made it through Village.
Yeah.
Dead Space is scarier than Village, though. I can tell you that much. I've even played Village, but I know that for a fact.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Like the stuff I've heard about Dead Space, and especially Dead Space 2, I'm like, nah, I'm good. The Overwatch League Season 2 will use an early build of Overwatch 2, apparently. Overwatch League will start in April 2022. And will use some form of build for Overwatch 2, which I guess is exciting.
Yeah, I've seen some people kind of theorizing that maybe this means that we'll be getting the game at some point next year. If the early build is going to be used for season 2 of Overwatch League, then the second game just has to be coming out next year, almost certainly.
Oh yeah.
So that's what I've been seeing kind of people say about this.
I think it would be kind of cool if because it starts in April 22nd. I can't remember how many weeks it runs for, but I think it would be kind of cool if they were like, and on the last day of the Overwatch League or like at like when finals finish, Overwatch 2 will release.
That'd be really interesting if they did that.
Yeah.
But you know what else is more interesting?
Them being sued.
Yes, the fact that, Activision Blizzard, the company that, puts out Overwatch, is the company that's being sued right now by the state of California for their terrible workplace conditions and the way that they treat women and, other people there that just, mainly the women. Actually, I'm just going to say mainly the women, sexual harassment, pay disparities, discrimination, retaliation, all sorts of things, all sorts of terrible, terrible things. We've talked about it many times on the show before, but of course, it is a very important thing to keep on remembering whenever discussing anything, Activision Blizzard related. So keep that in mind whenever you think about Overwatch League Season 2 or Overwatch 2, anything like that at all. Continue, Keiran.
Exactly. Fortnite Season 7, the finale is a one-time only event on September 12th, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. UK.
Gotcha. Yeah, I read the little article. It's capping off this whole alien thing that's going on. I haven't played this season at all. But it's like capping off this alien thing that's happening, it's alien invasion. And yeah, it's like a Epic kind of put out like, hey, do these things before the event happens, because once the event happens, you're not gonna be able to do this stuff. So September 12th is actually a Sunday. That's cool. Works out for me. If I'm not doing anything on Sunday, I might hop on just for the event, just to see how it goes and what happens and everything. Will I record gameplay for it? I don't think I will. Probably won't want to, but we'll see what happens.
Nice. I will not be playing it. I don't play Fortnite.
That's totally fine.
Okay, that is going to conclude our brief mentions, so we will move on to our first main news story. That story, of course, being the Horizon Forbidden West buying structure model system The fact that if you buy it on PS4, you cannot upgrade to the PS5 version. You have to
Yeah.
buy the game again entirely.
Yeah. It's very weird. It's very weird and I don't want to say confusing, but the system itself is confusing. The rationale is confusing because there is no real rationale behind it.
Yeah.
And just to preface this all real quick, Sony and Guerrilla they started pre-orders for Horizon Forbidden West this week. I think it was Thursday or Friday. It was near the end of the week. And just so we have context in mind for the situation here, the launch edition, which is basically the regular base version of the game, is $60 on PS4, $70 on PS5. What you would expect. Cool. The special edition is $70 on PS4, $80 on PS5, and it gets you some extra little bonuses or whatever, what have you. Then there is the digital deluxe edition, which is $80 for no matter the platform. It's $80, and that gets you both the PS4 and PS5 versions. But of course, this is digital. This is the digital version of the game. It's just the digital special edition. $80 gets you PS4 and PS5 copy of the game. Then there is the collector's edition, which is $200. It has a bunch of cool little knickknacks in it. This giant statue of a Tremor Tusk from the game. It's $200. And then there's the Regalia edition, which is $260. And has a lot of the same things as the collector's edition. The statue is an alternate version of the Tremor Tusk. It looks a bit different. The box it comes in is all different and stuff like that. It has a couple of other things, but that's $260. Both the collector's edition and the Regalia edition get you digital versions of the PS4 and PS5 copy of the game. So they don't come with physical copies. They only come with digital copies for PS4 and PS5. That is the context for all this. But if you notice, I did not say anything about an upgrade path. And that is the controversy behind this whole situation.
Yeah. So, I mean, I really don't see why they didn't offer pay $20 if you have the PS4 version to upgrade to PS5. I really don't understand why they're doing it this way. Surely they yes, they're it's designed to be played on PS5. The PS5 version is going to be much better than the PS4 version and everything. But to charge your consumers basically for the entire game again just because they're playing it on your newer console when they happen to buy it on your older console before is a really scummy move.
Yeah, it's a mess to say the least. $20 for an upgrade might have been a bit much. $10 is actually what I would have imagined. It would have been just pay $10 more to get the next gen version. Just you have the physical disc or you have the digital PS4 version. You pay $10 and you get the digital version for PS5 whenever you get the PS5. It's interesting that there is no upgrade path like that. The only way to get both versions is to get the $80 version, which I will admit that's not bad. $80 to get both versions of digital, that's fine. Or you have to buy the collector's edition, which is much more expensive.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're getting the collector's edition, you're obviously getting it for everything else that's in there and stuff like that. I guess the real issue comes into play when you're really talking about the physical versions of the game. Because the digital versions, you can get the digital versions $80, you get both automatically. That's fine. You get the collector's editions, you get both digital automatically. It's fine. The problem really comes into play with the physical versions of the game, where if you buy it physically and you're not getting the special edition digitally or anything like that, if you want to buy it physically, you have to then buy it again for PS5, full price. And that's the problem. And it's just weird that there is no type of upgrade path at all. I'm pretty sure for actually no, I don't want to say pretty sure, but I mean, this is when also people were digging up their posts from last year when they announced the prices for Miles Morales and Sackboy and some other game and Demon's Souls, I think. and so, it was some other PS4 game that came out. They were like, yeah, for these launch games, for for PS5 launch games, there will be a free upgrade path. But in that same paragraph, like a sentence before, Horizon was mentioned. So people were saying, oh no, look here, they said that Horizon was going to get it as well, but Horizon's not a launch game at all.
No.
So it's like that kind of, the wording there is important. Launch game is not what Horizon is, so it kind of doesn't fit that window. But then I think I've seen some other people bring it up, other quotes or interviews where like Sony kind of said or might have implied that Horizon was going to get a free upgrade or something, some type of upgrade path. Regardless of what was said in the past, it's not happening now. And the system that is going on now for physical owners, let me be real clear about this. If you're a digital person, I don't think this is that big an issue for you. You can buy the digital deluxe edition and you get both versions of the game digitally. It's really just an issue if you are physical only. And I guess if you are strapped for cash on the PS4, you can't pay the extra $20 to get the digital edition, then it's an issue there as well, I guess. But it's definitely more of just an issue if you buy a physical copy of the game for PS4, then you have no choice but to pay $70 for the PS5 version when you want it, when you get a PS5 eventually, whenever that is.
Yeah, and like I think the thing that's annoying for me about it is like they did it for, and again, like I mean, you point this out, like Miles Morales and Sackboy and stuff were near enough launch games. So
not near enough. They were launch games. They were day one.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if Sackboy was, but
Sackboy, if Sackboy was not day one, it was like within the first week or so.
Yeah. So it's like, yes, they're launch games, but like you did it for those, so why can't you do the same thing here? It doesn't make sense. I was checking as well. The collector's edition in the UK is £170, and the Regalia edition I can't find a price for because it's sold out. So yeah. Just for anyone in the UK who it might be curious about the price. But yeah, I really don't get it. I would love for this to be like a $10 upgrade or even a free upgrade, which wouldn't happen, but that's besides the point. Just makes me very happy that I have smart delivery.
Yeah, it is. It's one of those things where smart delivery is being brought up yet again. It's just like, oh my gosh, it's the saving grace. I'm being a bit like facetious there, but like you get the point. Just like, oh my God, I said facetious. That might not have even been the right word to use, but again, you get my point.
Yeah.
Like it does bear the point. Like, yeah, smart delivery is great and everything.
Yeah.
And it's just like the way Sony is going about this. It's just really weird, and it doesn't make sense. It doesn't seem like there's a reason as to why this is the case, especially when like Ghost of Tsushima literally just got its PS5 version, and the upgrade from the PS4. All right, the upgrade from the PS4 version of Ghost of Tsushima to the PS5 version, to the PS4 Director's Cut version, I think is like $10 or $20, I think. But the upgrade from the PS4 version of Ghost of Tsushima to the PS5 Director's Cut version is like $30. Granted, that's, you're still paying money, but it's not $70. It's not making you pay $70 for the PS5 version of Director's Cut. You're just paying $30. That's what I paid. I just paid $30 to go from the original PS4 version to the Director's Cut PS5. $30. So like your most recent game just came out and had an upgrade path of some sort. Why can Horizon not have an upgrade path of some sort that is not buying the full game again on PS5 when you get the PS5 eventually? Yeah,
no, and like I don't understand why they're doing this, is because like it's not like it's an entirely different game on PS5. It like, yes, it's going to have some additional features. It's going to look better, play better and everything. But like, it's not like it's, you're getting an absolutely, truly immersive, different, awesome experience on PS5 that you wouldn't get on PS4.
I will say right now, let's not use absolutes in this just because the game hasn't come out yet. We haven't seen PS4, PS5 comparisons. So let's not use absolutes. Because I'm not going to say that you're wrong. It's very likely that you're probably right, that it's mostly just like some visual differences and frame rate differences probably and stuff like
Yeah.
that. That's most likely the case. But because the games are not out yet, I would just say let's refrain from using absolutes.
Okay.
Like it's not, because I mean, we probably would have thought the same thing about Cyberpunk, and then Cyberpunk came out, and look at that.
Yeah,
look at that. It was you could say that was basically a very different game if you were playing on base PS4, Xbox One, then the upgraded PS4, PlayStation consoles, and the next gen and the PC. Basically, very different games across the board.
Yeah, fair point. But like, yeah, I think my point is still like a little bit valid though, because
I said, they're most likely not going to be any major differences aside from visual stuff.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like it's most likely just going to be like, I mean, like you say, visual enhancements, frame rate, and then you'll have stuff with the DualSense and stuff. So like it's most likely not going to be an entirely different experience on PS5 than it will be on PS4. So I can't justify like them basically saying, we're going to charge you full price for both. So
right.
And I mean,
it's definitely.
Sorry, you go.
I was going to say it's definitely one of those things where I hope that they kind of rethink this and say, all right, you know what? We've heard the community, just like we heard you all with the PlayStation Store stuff for PS3, Vita, and PSP. Yeah. We've heard you all. We're going to kind of rethink this. There'll be a $10 upgrade path from the PS4 to PS5 version, or a $20 upgrade path from PS4 to PS5. Most likely $10 is what they would do.
Yeah.
But I would hope that they would like kind of say that at some point in time. The chances of that happening, I'm going to say slim to none, just like we kind of thought with the PlayStation Store situation. Slim to none chance of anything happening on that, but something did. So I'll say again, this is slim to none. But they got time. It's September now. The game comes out in February. They got time to kind of rethink this and figure this out.
Yeah. And one thing that just popped in my head is I hope that if they don't do that for this game, I hope they learn and apply that to God of War. So that,
oh dear God, yes.
Yeah, because like if they're doing it for this game, I think if they don't change it, either they're going to say, okay, we heard your feedback for Horizon, we're not going to do this with God of War, we'll offer a proper upgrade path, or they're going to put their foot down and say, no, this is how we're doing things, either like it or don't buy it.
Yeah, it's a tough situation where it's like you kind of put your foot in your mouth on this.
Yeah,
with what you're doing here, stepping on the rake and just smack you in the face. And they do need to rethink this entirely. They do need to rethink, just add an upgrade path of some sort, just $10, because I don't see, like I said, I don't see the reason why they can't. I don't think there is a reason that they can't. It's just they're not doing it for a weird reason.
No, I mean, I know the reason why they're doing it. It's profit.
I mean, yeah, but again, like Ghost of Tsushima has an upgrade path.
Yeah,
the PS no, I don't think Miles Morales had one. Again, I'm thinking about Miles Morales, the upgrading from the launch edition to like the Ultimate Edition that gets you Spider-Man Remastered. That's what I'm thinking of. But even still, I'm pretty sure there wasn't like a fee you had to pay. I'm pretty sure the upgrade was just free from PS4 to PS5. I thought there were some other PlayStation games I might have had, but most of their games have just been one platform only. So, but again, Ghost of Tsushima had an upgrade path. Came out literally weeks ago. So I don't get why Horizon can't do it. There's no reason it can't do it. Even if you want to say profit. They like Ghost of Tsushima has one. Yeah. So it just doesn't make sense here. It doesn't make sense why it's not available.
Yeah, I mean, I'm reading just from a Google snippet thing. But it says that buying the standalone expansion on PS4 for Miles Morales grants you a free PS5 upgrade.
Yeah, so that's what I thought. Like they said back then, I was just mixing things up in my head.
Yeah, but yeah, kind of bad moves from Sony, in my opinion. But I'm sure we'll talk about it again if that situation updates.
Yeah, oh for sure.
Next up, coming to Switch Online maybe soon are Game Boy and Game Boy Color games. I'm reading from a Eurogamer article written by Tom Phillips, saying, quote, Nintendo is set to add Game Boy and Game Boy Color titles to Nintendo Switch Online. Eurogamer sources have confirmed. Word that Nintendo will bulk up its Switch Online back catalog first broke earlier this week via the Hate podcast, which discussed various possible handheld games Nintendo could bring to the Switch subscription offering. Nintendo Live sources then offered their own confirmation. Now Eurogamer has been able to separately corroborate these reports, and we have heard that other retro platforms are also on the cards. End quote. I don't really have any investment in this. I don't think I can't think of any games from the Game Boy or Game Boy Color that I would play. Again, like I think, what episode did I mention this on? I think it was our E3 wrap up or E3 recap, where it's like there are much bigger Nintendo fans than me, people who are far more knowledgeable about Nintendo. I am not the guy to go to talk about Nintendo history or specific games that are on specific consoles.
Yeah. So like I had a Game Boy Color when I was younger, and I had Pokemon Red, I believe, Pokemon Crystal and Crystal and Gold. I don't think I had Silver, or maybe I had all three. And I played. I had like a Mega Man game on there. I had a couple different games on my Game Boy Color. The thing is, I wasn't one who had like the Zelda games or the Metroid games or the Mario games that were on the Game Boy Color and stuff. And I was also super young at the time, so I really remember very little of the games I even played on that platform. That being said, though, I think this would be really cool, because I mean, people have been for the longest time asking for GameCube games to come. That has not happened yet, but Game Boy and Game Boy Color games, I think that's another good addition right there. Because I mean, the Game Boy and Game Boy Colors have a huge well, I don't want to say huge, but they have a nice sized library there of, really beloved games that people really cherish and hold near and dear to their hearts. I mean, the original Link's Awakening. Sorry. The original Link's Awakening, Game Boy game or Game Boy Color, one of the two. So that, I mean, like, you have the new remake on the Switch. You put the original there, like that way people can experience the original one and just see like how it compares to the remake and everything like that. I think like this would be really cool. But again, just like you, well, I guess not exactly like you, I don't really have too much attachment to the Game Boy Color. For me, this makes me more so thinking and excited for Game Boy Advance. If they bring Game Boy Advance games to the platform, then I'm all in, because I had a Game Boy Advance and an SP, and I loved that SP. I actually wanted to try and play Sonic Advance 2 sometime recently. I wanted to, but I can't find my SP, and I found my Game Boy Advance, but I forgot, like, memory is crazy, because the Game Boy Advance screen is terrible. Dear God, the backlight that the SP added was so necessary. Like, I'm legitimately serious. Playing my Game Boy Advance in my room, my lit room like this, daytime, I could barely see that screen. And I was like, okay, either my eyes was gotten worse with age, or this screen was just terrible, and I just did not remember how bad it actually was. I didn't know how bad it actually was as a kid. But yeah, they do the Game Boy Color, then that opens the door for games like Metroid Fusion to be added. There are what were the Zelda games that were on the Minish Cap, I believe, was one of them. I forgot there was another Zelda game or two that was available for Game Boy Advance. I know there were some Mario games, Wario games, I think, were there. It just opens the door for a whole lot of other games. Pokemon Ruby, Emerald, Sapphire. I would be on Pokemon Emerald for sure if they added Game Boy Advance games, because that one, again, like I told you, that was the one that I was super into. So hardcore into, although I probably wouldn't be able to do like the cheats and stuff that I did back in the day. But yeah, it makes me wonder, like, are they going to do a Game Boy Advance at some point? Will we get original DS games? Very unlikely, because DS, two screen system and format and all, but will they eventually do maybe DS games? it's all very interesting, to be honest.
Sorry, I'm looking something up. I can't remember what. I think it was forms, because I remember I had a Game Boy Advance SP, and the only game I can like picture in my head playing on it was a Donkey Kong Country game, but I can't remember which one was on Game Boy Advance SP. So yeah, that's probably the only game that I would be probably interested in playing again if they brought it back, because that, like I said, it's the only one I can really remember playing.
Yeah.
But in any case, the more things they add to this, the better. Like it's never going to be a bad thing, them adding more consoles and more games to their online service.
Yeah, especially since Switch Online is so like piss poor. It is no beating around the bush. Like it's terrible. And it's only $20 for a year, which is honestly not bad. But even when you think about what's there, sometimes it's just like paying $20 a year for this. It's like it's only $20 for a year. It's not like they're if they were charging 60, if they were charging over $20, actually, if they all charged over $20 per year for Switch Online, it would be the biggest scam in gaming. Like, oh my gosh, it would be such a ripoff. But $20 is like, okay, I can justify this, even if I never use Switch Online. I never do. I used it for Smash maybe a handful of times. My bad. I've used it for Animal Crossing. I forgot Animal Crossing. I used it for a fair amount too. But other than those two games, I do not use Switch Online.
Yeah, I was going to say the only thing I've used Switched Online for was to visit my friend's islands on Animal Crossing. But when I got rid of Animal Crossing, I was like, yeah, I don't need this.
Yeah, they just need to improve that service big time. So anything will help.
Yeah. Do you have any final thoughts on the Nintendo stuff?
No, I just know. I'm just wondering, hey, Game Boy Advance next? Possibly. Maybe DS at some point in time. Highly doubtful because, again, system the way it is, they'd have to really rethink how they put the games on there, but do that. GameCube at some point?
Yes, please.
Please and thank you. Please and thank you. We'd all really appreciate that, Nintendo. That would be the best.
All I want in the world is Super Mario Sunshine Remastered. It's all I want.
You already got that with Super Mario 3D All-Stars.
No, I want a proper from the ground up remaster of it.
That's not going to come with them putting GameCube games on Switch Online. That's not going to be a proper remaster. That'll just be a port.
Stop crushing my dreams, Tyler, okay?
I'm not trying to crush your dreams. I'm just saying that if you want a remaster, you got it already. Was it a good remaster? No, but it's a remaster. And so, well, actually, it barely qualifies as a remaster. It is a port that looks a bit better.
Yeah.
But that doesn't do much else. I guess you could say it's a remaster, but again, it like just barely qualifies as a remaster.
I was trying to think of a clever segue into our next story, but my brain just went dead. So people have boycotted Twitch this week, and subsequently the viewership decreased thanks to the boycott. So
yes, it did.
I'm going to open up this article. Reading from an IGN article written by Jared Boer, saying, quote, Twitch streamers this was obviously written before the boycott happened.
Right. At the beginning of the article is just a little update, like for the day of, but the article itself was written beforehand, just basically saying what was going to happen on that day.
Yeah. So from the article, quote, Twitch streamers are organizing a boycott of the platform in protest at hate raids that have been affecting marginalized streamers across the site for some time now, and inaction from Twitch on preventing them. On September 1st, a number of streamers are set to go on strike across the platform in a bid to push Twitch to do more about hate raids and hate speech directed towards various marginalized streamers on the platform. The protest is being organized by streamers Wreck-It Raven, Lucia Everblack, and Shiny Pen under the hashtag a day off Twitch, end quote. And then there was an update afterwards, basically just saying that the boycott was happening on the 1st.
Yep. And then it was like a graphic going around and
Yeah,
stuff, basically showing like that basically explained the demands that the people in the community had
yeah,
for Twitch in regards to, handling the hate raids and the botting and so on and so forth. And yeah, so I saw a lot of it on that day.
yeah. I've seen a couple of videos on YouTube of people have recorded the hate raids and put them on YouTube as like, hey, don't do this. Don't be word I can't say on the podcast. Um,
Before
yeah,
we get any deeper into
yep.
it, I was gonna ask before we get any deeper into this about like what the impact of the boycott was. Um, I know you're a Twitch streamer. Obviously, you are not a marginalized person who would be suffering from hate raids and stuff like that. But like, what have you known about like the hate raids going on Twitch, and just like what were like your thoughts on the boycott? Because I mean, I don't stream on Twitch at all in any way, shape, or form. I've done like once maybe in every year
Yeah,
or so I might do something, be like, yeah, I'm gonna stream like a couple days a week, and it's like I do it once, I'm like, I'm good actually.
yeah.
um but like I think like what the hate rates have been going on since August, if I'm correct, or maybe longer, I'm not quite sure, but I know like it's really been talked about in the past month, just like an increase in hate rage and so on and so forth, which has led to the boycott that happened and everything. So like, you as someone who does stream on Twitch, but of course not someone who suffers from this, so your perspective is a bit different.
Yeah.
Like, what is your like view on the situation and how like what Twitch needs to do about this?
IP. I there was more to that sentence, I promise. IP ban. IP ban people who are participating in hate raids. Just don't allow them to even access the site. Like it wouldn't even be that hard to do. Like, well, that being said, like obviously there are ways you can get around it. Just use a VPN and such. I don't know, but I genuinely I've said this like for I think a couple things that we've talked about over the recent weeks, but just I don't understand the mindset of people who are like, yeah, I'm going to organize a hate raid against this people trying to make like an awesome career for themselves. I don't get it.
Mhm.
Just these are usually organized by, or at least maybe not these exactly, but there are a lot of things on Twitch that are organized by like people who have failed themselves as streamers and they blame other people for stealing views, stealing content, whatever. So they
Right.
act out against people doing it, like follow botting and stuff is like a big one. But
What's that? Out of
it's
curiosity.
it's basically where they create a bot so they make like I don't know, like 1,000, 2,000, 10,000 Twitch accounts, and then they basically follow bot someone where they will follow with all 10,000 accounts at once. And it will, because like, streamers most likely will have like follow notifications. Then
Oh, so it just all
yep,
pops up on the screen.
it will pop up. So
I
that
see.
for any streamers watching, the easiest way to get around that is if that ever happens to you, just turn off your alerts. Just go into like if you stream on OBS, Streamlabs OBS, just go and delete your alerts, and it should obviously won't fix your follower number. There are ways you can fix that. I know people have done it. I don't know how to do it, but I'm sure if you YouTube it, then you would be able to find out a way to like undo the follow bot. But yeah, just delete your alerts. It should be fine, I think. But yeah, especially going after people who are in marginalized communities who don't have a proper voice in this industry anyway. I genuinely, if you participate in hate raids, please just leave Twitch. Like it's the easiest way I can describe. I can describe it is just leave Twitch. We like people like that don't belong on that platform.
Yeah, it's of course for me, I'm not a streamer at all, but just as a person, I see this and I've seen people talking about it, and I haven't really watched any people's videos. I know on Twitter people post video like, "Hey, this happened to me today." Like they'll show like the clip of like them getting hate rated, and I haven't watched them or anything. But just reading about them happening with just so much increased frequency in the past month or so, and I guess just like seeing screenshots of just how the chat will be when the hate rate is happening and all. It's a thing where I don't okay. I say I don't understand. I understand why people do it. They do it to troll, they do it for the lulz, and they think it's funny, and they're just like, yeah, I'm gonna get so much attention. I'm gonna stick it to this, it's this African American person or this Hispanic person or this LGBTQ plus person because, they I'm just gonna stick it to them and just, ruin their day and stuff. I don't understand the logic behind that. Like, why does that make you why does that make you like entertained? Why is that funny to you? It shouldn't be. It's not. And it's really stupid and silly. And it's interesting and also sad the fact that Twitch kind of hasn't done anything about this, and it's been happening so much for such a long time. And while I don't know all the ins and outs of Twitch and like what the Twitch life is like and all like that, so I don't know if it's been going on since earlier than August. I'm sure it has been. I just know it's come to prominence in the past month or so. But the fact that it's been such a talking point and such a noteworthy thing for the past month, and nothing has been done about it, says a lot. And I'm sure on the back end, like Twitch, I'm sure Twitch is trying to like address things on like internally first before they, come out and do something, right? I'm sure like things like this do take time. I'm not trying to like take that away from them or anything. But with a situation like this, you want to get on it pretty quickly and take care of it as quickly as you can, or deploy measures in which you can start to take care of it as quickly as you can, and not sit on your hands and twiddle your thumbs for a month before deploying any measures to address the situation in any way, shape, or form. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So the fact that, as far as I know, nothing significant has been done on Twitch's part to help streamers with these situations is sad and damning, to be honest. If I'm right, I know that I think they've sent like emails to certain streamers saying, hey, we are aware of the situation. We don't agree with this at all. That has no place on Twitch's platform. We'll be in contact with you, talk to us, help us, we'll help you. We want to help everybody, so on and so forth. I'm pretty sure they sent emails to streamers saying stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like that, Twitch has for a long time. Twitch is the biggest streaming platform for just not just gaming, but just in general. It's the biggest streaming platform that people go to. It just is. And with that, you have a responsibility of sorts to lead by example. You get what I mean? To be the place that says this should not go on in the streaming community. This has no place in the streaming community at all, any way, shape, or form. But aside, and in addition to that, you also are owned by Amazon, which is one of the richest companies in the world.
Yep.
So monetarily, there's no reason that you can't take care of this in a fairly speedy fashion.
Yep.
And with the fact that Twitch makes a lot of money for Amazon, I imagine, you would think that they would want to try and handle this as quickly as they can to appease the streamers that bring in the money for them. You follow what I'm saying here?
Yeah. And
the fact that they're kind of just taking their time on this says a lot. And I've seen some people say, that you have big streamers leaving Twitch for YouTube gaming. Whether, of course, like Tim Tapman, like you mentioned before, Dr. Lupo, of course, these deals are things that happen in the behind the scenes, like, they take time to happen and everything. But it's happening now at this point in time. And it kind of begs the question, I've seen some people wondering, like, hey, is YouTube gaming going to capitalize on this to try and move people over? Or more people going to start leaving Twitch now for YouTube gaming because Twitch is kind of doing nothing about the situation, and the situation is just so, I guess you could say, terrible, sad, just shameful, just a number of negative adjectives out there. You get what
Yeah,
that's my view on the situation. And I guess as an African American person, again, I'm not a streamer, but I definitely feel for anyone and everyone who is suffering from this. They're going on stream just to have a fun time with viewers and all, and then in their stream, you just in their chat, all of a sudden you just see just the N-word just filling up the chat just over and over and over and over and over again, because they're getting hate rated and stuff. And then it's like, all right, I got to make this subs only now because I can't, because this is happening.
Yeah.
And they got to try and like do things, and they got to set up spend half an hour or an hour setting up all these preventative measures before they even start streaming.
Yeah.
To not to guarantee it won't happen, but to try and prevent it from happening or lessen the impact of it. And then it will still happen anyway.
Yeah.
Like, no one should have to do that when they just want to hop on stream and play some games with people and just have a good time and chill vibes for like 2 hours or 3 hours each night. That shouldn't have to happen. And it's a shame that it does.
Yeah. And I forget, I think it was 2011 when Twitch was first like launched, because I know Amazon bought Twitch from I think it was called like Justin.tv or something like that, like way back when. And then Twitch bought it. Oh, sorry, Amazon bought it, changed it to Twitch. And I feel like ever since then, it's just kind of been like, slowly going downhill. Because like you have had a huge amount of their top creators leave the platform. Like Ninja, I can't remember how many years ago it was, like 2 or 3 at least. But Ninja
was a Mixer, then came back.
Yeah, like signed an exclusivity deal with Mixer, and then Mixer shut down. They banned Dr. Disrespect, and we still don't know the reason. Well, apparently Doc knows the reason why and is now suing Twitch, but they haven't publicly said the reason why. You now have Dr. Lupo and Tim the Tapman leaving. Like, these are the platform, or at least some of the platform's biggest creators, the people who bring in the most money. So that should be red flag number one. The thing that if I don't currently stream. I don't know, but if I ever did, I probably wouldn't go back to Twitch, because some of the decisions they've been making recently, I definitely do not agree with. The one that kind of broke the camel's back for me was so if you like sub to a channel on Twitch, you can then actually say actually, no, I didn't want to do that. I want to revoke my sub. And what they have, I think it's like a preset list of reasons you can choose from, why you want to revoke it. And the last one you can choose on the list is, I just wanted a shout out. And I was like, that's not fair. That's not fair that you're taking away the money from the streamer who is working incredibly hard on their stream, because you have an option for someone to be, pardon my language, an asshat. And it's just like, I just wanted a shout out. So I gave I pretended like I was going to give them money, and then I got the shout out, and then I'm like, nah, I want my money back now. So
it's interesting. It's funny that they have that as an actual option. Like, you would think that wouldn't be a legitimate option. They'd just be like other, and like, oh, insert your reason here. Like, type it in. No, that's a legitimate reason. Oh yeah, I just want a shout out.
Yeah, like I don't get it. It's like you're a multi-billion-dollar company. So why is it exactly that you need to take $2.50 away from the creator? I don't get it. But they take 50% of everything. So is that right? It's been quite some time since I've streamed, so I think so. A sub is $5. No, they take more than 50%, because the sub is $5. Twitch gets $2.51. Streamer gets $2.49. So
I see.
And I'm like, that's, again, if anything, I feel like that should be the other way around, because the streamer is the one bringing those people to your platform. Like, yes, they would probably be watching somebody else if they weren't watching that streamer, but it's like, the only thing you are doing is facilitating that person to stream on your platform. You are doing nothing more than that. They are the one making the content. So why are you taking more than 50% of their revenue? I don't get that in the slightest.
Right.
Doesn't make sense to me. One more thing I wanted to point out. I honestly don't know why Twitch isn't working with the police to stop the people who are hate raiding, because honestly, and I apologize if this offends some people, I would class that as a hate crime.
Possibly. I guess you could argue that, yeah.
I mean,
I think you could argue it, since, you know, it's
no, I mean, like,
I don't think, I guess I don't know if it would be considered I guess it would be considered more hate speech as opposed to hate crime. Possibly. Since they're technically just saying the thing, they're not like they're not physically harming the person. You get what I mean?
Yeah,
so I guess that would be more just hate speech. But I guess in the world of streaming, that brings a whole different level to it and adds different wrinkles. So possibly could be, but I guess it'd be more considered just aggressive hate speech, unnecessary hate speech. You get what I mean?
Yeah. A hate crime is defined as any crime which is perceived by the victim or any other person as being motivated wholly or partially by malice or ill will towards a social group. There are 5 groups or protected characteristics covered by the hate crime legislation: disability, race, religion or belief, sexual orientation, transgender identity.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be considered a hate crime per se. Maybe it could be. I mean, if it was, I wouldn't argue that, but I don't think it would be.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would depend who you speak to. So
yeah,
I would consider that a hate crime, because you are targeting a specific group of individuals who have done nothing wrong to you whatsoever, but because of your bias or your ill-perceived whatever towards them, you are, hang on, what's it defined here as again? You are projecting malice or ill will towards that person for something that they can't control. It's, I don't know. It's a really crappy situation, and I do not agree with it in the slightest.
Yeah, and I've also seen creators saying that if this was happening to the big name creators, such as the Ninjas or Tim the Tatmans or Dr. Lupos or who have you, I don't know big names on Twitch, but those are the 3 names that came into my head right now. So we're talking about them. If it was happening to any of them, something would have been done ASAP about it. But because it's not happening to them, Twitch is kind of dragging its feet to take care of the situation. And they're not really doing anything substantial or significant about it in a timely fashion, in a timely manner, which again just goes into making this whole situation that much more sad and depressing, because it's like there's so many people out here who, have a large following on Twitch who are not, your standard big name white guy or white girl streamer or what have you. And they're just kind of being forced to deal with this and manage and tread water until Twitch throws them the life raft and says, hey, come on up. We got you. We're going to help you out. It's real shameful. It's real shameful. The whole situation, which is why, and this is all just why the boycott happened.
Yeah. So the results of the boycott, I'm reading another IGN article written by Matt Kim, saying, quote, yesterday streamers across Twitch initiated a day off as a way to demand better action from the company on hate raids. Now the data is in, and according to analytics, Twitch did see a drop in traffic compared to the days leading up to the boycott. According to analytics from GameSite, both the number of channels that were streaming and views during noon Pacific was lower than the 8 days preceding the September 1st a day off Twitch boycott. They have a graphic here which shows some data about the boycott. So I will probably put it up on screen just now, just so people can have a look. Although I don't know how good you're going to be able to see it. But continuing the article, in terms of numbers, around 14,000 fewer Twitch channels were streaming between August 31st and September 1st, and about 1 million fewer hours of content were viewed compared to the previous week. Analyst Zach Debussy added additional context to these figures, but found that ultimately, hashtag a day off Twitch did impact overall viewership on the platform. Boosie factored in non-boycott related causes to a potential viewership decrease, including the loss of Dr. Lupo and Tim the Tatman, who both recently announced an exclusive switch to YouTube. Boosie also accounted for the back-to-school factor now that students are returning to in-person learning, end quote. So I am glad that this boycott had an effect on Twitch. Honestly, I don't think it's a big enough effect for Twitch to actually notice and do anything. I really hope that they do. I'm not saying that I don't believe that this cause isn't good or that they shouldn't have done it, but I don't think, for me, that 5 to 15%, well, I suppose 5 to 15% for one day isn't.
It's a good amount, but
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
know how significant it will be long term.
Yeah.
Well, not long term. Let me rephrase that. If it was a 20% drop in viewership, I think that number specifically, 20%, because that's 1/5. That's 1/5 of their viewership for a day. I think if it was 20%, that specific number would be like, wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
It being 5 to 15, that gives like a range of like, not that big an impact to a bit of an impact.
Yeah.
So I think that given the situation and given what the viewership was, I think that it was enough for Twitch to notice.
Oh yeah.
And for Twitch to, I guess you could say, all right, we should probably start to try and take care of things faster.
Yeah.
Whereas if it was a 20%, it would be like, okay, we really need to handle things faster.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like it's significant. Don't get me wrong. That basically, well, up to 15% of people stopped watching on Twitch because of this boycott. So Twitch have definitely paid attention to this. There's no way they couldn't have, but right. I just don't think it is a high enough percentage of viewers to have meaningful change quicker than what might have been planned already. I think if they had a bigger, like you say, 20, 25, 30%, Twitch would have been like, okay, like we need to not, we need to not have 30% of our paying
viewers
customers
just go away.
Yeah, go away more often. So we need to get on this right now. But I really hope they do something soon, because these creators don't deserve in any way, shape, or form this happening to them.
Right. And it's important little final paragraph here in the article from Matt Kim saying here that streamers are making it clear that a lack of tools to combat hate raids is detrimental to their futures on the platform, particularly marginalized streamers. So far, Twitch has made public announcements about incoming tools like channel level ban evasion detection and other account improvements, but critics say these changes are not happening soon enough. Let me clarify. I do not know for certain if Twitch has made this public announcement after the boycott happened or if this was something that they announced before the boycott.
Yeah.
But regardless, again, like we've said a couple times right now, Twitch might be doing stuff, but nothing significant is happening fast enough. And again, I'm certain that like when anything in the tech realm, doing behind the scenes web development and stuff like that, and software and engineering and everything, I'm sure like these things take time to actually create and make sure they work properly at all. I don't want to take that away from Twitch, but they need to, really get on the ball with this so that people can safely stream, and not have to worry about having thousands of slur messages end up in their chat and 5 minutes after they start streaming. That way they shouldn't have to worry about, okay, I need to do a subs only stream. Sorry to all the people who might want to watch me who aren't subbed. You can't watch me for the next month because I don't have anything to keep myself from getting hate rated on stream by some random Joe Schmo. It's sad. And Twitch needs to do better, and they should be doing better. They should have been doing better because again, they are the top. I won't say top, but they are the most popular streaming platform. They just are. They are the household name.
Yep.
And by virtue of being the most popular one, you set the example. And if you set the example of just letting this be, then it just kind of it should it says a lot about your platform. It says a lot about you as a company, and it just allows competition to come in and say, you know what, we're going to do better, and then just take away viewers and streamers from you, which in turn ruins your business, and you should not want that.
Yeah. And I mean, to your point as well, it's like if they don't have anything to stop this happening to people, then I can guarantee you that streamers are going to get burnt out with having to, like every time I start streaming, I get hate rated 5, 10, 15 minutes into stream. So I can guarantee you they'll switch to another platform, 100%, especially if that platform comes out and says, hey, look at these things that we have that we're giving you to implement into your channel to stop these things happening. So Twitch needs to get on this, because if they're losing their biggest client, I don't know if I say clients, but like talent, I'll say, if they're losing their biggest talent to other platforms, they're going to need people to replace them. So if you don't implement these features, the people that you're going to want to replace, Tim the Tatman, Dr. Lupo, Dr. Disrespect, Ninja, whoever, the people that you want to replace those people with will already be gone. So if I was Twitch, I would be getting on that right quick.
For certain. Definitely.
That's
a good way to wrap it up.
Yeah. Again, if this situation updates itself, we will be sure to update all of you.
Of course.
Okay, that concludes our news section for this week. We're going to talk about what we've been playing. Do you want to go first, or do you want me?
I'll go first because mine should be pretty quick. I imagine you might have a fair amount to say about like each of the games you've been playing, depending on how much you've been playing each of them. So I'll do mine real quick. Played a bit of Knockout City this week. They have this little limited time mode, like superpowers and all. So when you do like that mode, each match, whenever you respawn with a different like perk. So that perk might be X-ray vision, so you can see enemies and items through walls. And then when you like die, you respawn with a different ability. So that ability might be being launched off the launch pads of the map. When you get launched, it automatically makes you like a super ball, a supercharge when you come slamming down, which can be very annoying because people will just spam that. And it's very annoying. There's another one where you regenerate health. So if you get hit once, over time, that heart will come back. So but you just have to survive long enough for it to come back. Yeah. There's like another one where you get super strength. So dashing into enemies will actually hurt them, as opposed to just knocking them away. Yeah. It actually hurts them. There's another one where dashing into enemies will actually pick them up for you automatically in ball form. It's very chaotic, to say the least, because everyone starts the match with a different ability. And as everyone keeps on getting knocked out, their abilities are constantly changing. So it adds a whole lot of like variability and randomness to matches, but it can also be very chaotic and very annoying as well. I did a couple matches in the mode. It's not that it's bad. It's just a bit too hectic for me and my like what I like from the game. I'm not a fan of like all the chaos that comes with like all these different random abilities happening. And like you can see what ability a person has when you see their character, like you see their name under their character, it'll say what ability they have. But you have to actually be able to read that. And in the chaos and hecticness of just like actually trying to dodge balls and survive and stuff, you're not actually reading and paying attention to what it says and everything like that. So you kind of never really know what abilities someone has when you're going up against them. And yeah, it can just be very hectic and chaotic. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I mean, it's a nice little new mode. It's a fun one. It's not going to be there long, I think. So it's fine. Ghost of Tsushima, I finished the Iki Island DLC this week. That DLC, again, the island was beautiful. I've been saying it's more Ghost of Tsushima. If you like the original, it's more of that in the best way possible. The story that is there wraps up in such a good way. Oh my gosh. It was just such a great story that they told, that kind of it all ties into Jin's past, and him having to deal with his past, come to terms, reckon with events that happened, and it wraps up really beautifully. And where like during the final boss fight, things happen, and I'm just like, let's go, let's get it. This is awesome. I'm so happy this is happening. It is time to take you out. Let's do this. And yeah, it's really cool. There's a lot of emotional moments behind it and everything. And I for 100% certain, like if you have not played Ghost of Tsushima, of course, obviously play the game. Do the Iki Island DLC after you finish the game, because it's available for you to do once you finish Act 1 and have access to the second part of the island. I'm pretty sure that's when it becomes available. But what happens on the island takes place after the main story. And on top of that, the enemies over there are very tough. Again, they're very difficult. I mean, once you understand what they do, it's actually easy to manage. But again, the enemies over there are difficult. That is meant to be done after you finish the main story. So do not do it as soon as it's available. Beat the main game, then go over there and do that. It's great. I spent, like, honestly, the main story, it's only a couple main story missions long. So if you only do the story missions, you could probably finish it in only a few hours, for like, honestly. But if you explore the island, if you do the side missions and like the main story, you mix it all in together, you can easily end up going into like over 10 hours, like a dozen hours or so. I spent a lot of time with it. And I took a lot of screenshots. They're all on my Twitter. If you want to go see them, follow me over on Twitter at Tyler Miller 2496. Posted all my screenshots over there. But yeah, I spent a lot of time with it. It's a sizable chunk of content that is there in that little section. So if you have Ghost of Tsushima and you were on the fence about whether or not you want to get this, I promise you, get it. You will not be disappointed by playing this Iki Island DLC. It is fantastic. It is so much fun. It's so good. Keiran, when you get Ghost of Tsushima, you're gonna just love that game. I know you will. I know you will. I'm such a good game.
I'm looking forward. I'm hoping to get a PS5 by the end of the year.
I think you can make it happen. I think you can.
I hope, depending on like one thing.
Depending on one thing?
Yeah.
I wonder what that one thing is. You're being vague about it.
Intentionally.
Okay, that's fine. That's totally fine. That's totally fine. I think we'll make it happen though. So yeah, did those two, and then I also started Marvel's Avengers this week. Did not get too far in the game. I honestly am just I haven't done much new stuff that wasn't in the beta. So did you play the Marvel's Avengers beta?
Nope.
Okay, so the beta, it had you do the A-Day mission. So, and specifically for the A-Day mission, it had you like doing it where like you are playing as the Avengers in the A-Day mission. In the full game, there's a whole other other half of the stuff mission that takes place before that, where you're playing as Kamala on like this trip. She won like a fan fiction contest. So she goes to the helicarrier with her father, and she's like basically fangirling. You're like, oh my gosh, there's this and this and this and this. It's really cool. She meets like each of the Avengers while she's there and stuff. And that all happens before like you play as the Avengers on A-Day. Yeah. So that stuff was new. And then there's a mission after that where you're playing as Kamala, like on the run from AIM in her home in Jersey and stuff. So that was new. That was new. And then there's one other mission that was actually new, where you first get to the helicarrier as Kamala and you like come across Bruce Banner and everything. Those things were new. But again, like not totally like, oh my gosh, like this is crazy, like story development, new stuff in the sense that I like didn't know about it or wasn't expecting it. You follow me?
Yeah.
So then after that, it's the beta mission where you go with Bruce to try and find Jarvis. So I had already done that in the beta. And the mission that comes after that is trying to find this piece of equipment for Jarvis that you need to find Tony Stark. I did that mission in the beta as well. So I'm now at the point, I believe, where everything else is stuff that I have not seen before. Obviously, I know that, Captain America is alive. Obviously, I know that he comes back at some point during the story, probably at the end of the game. That's all known to me. I know that it just happens. But like everything else, like the way the plot's going to go and stuff, I don't know. So I'm really excited to see how things play out. I will say Kamala and her relationship with her dad, I love it. Instantly in the first 5 minutes of the game, I was just like, yo, like this is such a great relationship. It's so heartwarming. I love them. Kamala is such a great character to like ground the story in so far, as someone who was just a giant fan. It still is a giant fan of the Avengers and looked up to them. And she is now like, has always been like, man, my life has been changed because of what happened on that day, but I don't blame them for what happened. And now that she knows, she's like, wait, something's off about this. She finds out that like, hey, like it looks like they were set up, and now she's the one who's going to help bring them all back together. It's such a good story so far, and I'm liking the way it's been like playing out, which is what I've heard about the game in like the past year, that the story was actually really great. It was everything else that was kind of like So I'm liking the story so far. I'm wondering after I beat the main story how much I'll play.
Yeah. Because
again, that's when you get into the end game stuff where it's like, okay, this is where people are having issues with it. I wonder how much it'll affect me. And so yeah, I'm not too sure where I'll go with it afterwards for that reason. But there's also a second reason, which I didn't mention to you yet. I was going to mention to you in a bit, but I'm going to mention it now. The other reason I'm not sure how much more I'll play of it after I finish the main story is because I re-downloaded Destiny 2. I re-downloaded it. I didn't start it yet. I just re-downloaded it because my brother is not here. He hasn't been here this past 2 weeks. And because there's less people in the house, the internet's faster. So I was like, if I'm going to re-download it, this is the time for me to do so.
Yeah.
That way I know it can be downloaded in like a night. And it's just here on the system already. I can put on my extended hard drive if I need to and just move it back over when I actually am going to play it. I was going to purchase Shadowkeep. I was going to purchase it because it was on sale for $9.99. I forgot to. Went to purchase it on the 2nd, which was the day the sale ended. And I was thinking, oh yeah, this is the last day of the sale. Sale was already over. I was like, son of a gun. So I didn't purchase Shadowkeep yet. But when I do start playing it, I am going to purchase Shadowkeep. That way I can go through all that content.
Yeah.
And because I did Forsaken. That's what it was. Forsaken. Yep. Yeah. I mixed that up with Square Enix's game Forspoken. I did the main Forsaken story, but I never did any of like the end game content for Forsaken. Like I never did the raid for it, any of the Nightfalls, any of like that end game content for Forsaken. Yeah. I never did it because it came out at the same time Spider-Man came out. So like I did the main story for that and then jumped over to Spider-Man. And I was already kind of falling off Destiny at the time too anyway.
Yeah.
But it is on the system. It's on the system. It's going to be played at some point in time in the near future. It's just a matter of, it's because I've been playing Marvel's Avengers in the back of my mind. I'm just like, I got Destiny on the system now. And Destiny was fun to play. I'm like, how badly am I going to want to jump back into that as soon as I'm done with Avengers?
Yeah.
And how much am I going to enjoy Avengers like grind as opposed to Destiny's grind? That's what it's going to come down to. Because I don't know if I'm going to want to balance both of them at the same time or just one or the other. And again, games, we are on the cusp, the precipice of just a bunch of games.
Yeah.
Life is Strange True Colors is on the 10th. I believe, what's on the 14th? No, that's on the 14th. I think it's the 17th, it's Deathloop. The 21st or the 24th, it's Kena. And then October, we got Battlefield coming in October. There's a lot of stuff happening in a very short time frame. Also, the Vanguard beta, which again, Activision makes Call of Duty. Don't forget that. Vanguard beta, open beta is in like 2 weeks or so for PlayStation as well. There's a lot happening and not enough time for it all. And again, there's just a lot happening. It's a lot of gaming stuff happening in the near future. And I'm going to have to pick and choose what I do. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah. So question about Avengers. Is AIM the main enemy?
Yes.
That's Aldrich Killian's company, right?
I don't know if he's in the game, but Yeah, he's connected to it if I'm right.
Yeah.
But I mean, AIM is the main yes, AIM is the main villain, but like MODOK, Tarleton, he's like the person who's in charge of AIM in the game. So like he is the real big bad, and AIM is just AIM is the company he has. So AIM and MODOK.
Okay, so I have 4 games I have played this week.
I'm looking forward to hearing about each of them, especially this bottom one. Because I was never would have expected you to put that there.
Yeah, neither did I, but I'll get into that. I'll start with the one I have played the least, which is Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I only put this here because I said last week I was going to start it, and I have started it. I think I have played almost nothing of it because I played an hour when I got home this morning from the thing that I was talking to you about earlier. So I think I've played maybe like half an hour, 45 minutes. I've just rescued Phoebe.
Yeah.
So like I'm right at the start.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. So you really haven't done much.
No.
Phoebe pops up a lot in that game, and she's cool. She's fine. At some points I was just like, yo, you kind of annoying, but also like you're fine, I guess. Do you?
Did you?
But also, how'd you get here?
Did you do the DLCs for Odyssey, or did you?
I did not. I just the main story, and I was out. I was like, I'm not spending any more time in this game. I'm done. That's
what I thought. Yeah, because I bought the gold edition, so I will be playing this from the start of the game to the end of the DLCs.
Okay, cool.
A game I have not played for 12 minutes, but I've played for a couple hours is 12 minutes.
That was funny.
I'm not hating it.
Okay.
Not loving it.
Okay, so you're definitely in that divisive camp as well.
Yeah. So I've played it for a couple hours. I've tried a bunch of different scenarios. I can't even tell the furthest I've gotten because I don't know
spoilers.
Yeah, and I don't know what I'm doing half the time. So I think I've reset the loop like probably 7 or 8 times. Something like that.
So it actually goes in real time. Is it like every 12 minutes the loop resets, or is it a thing where once you do the loop resets based on story progression? You know what I mean? So say you have to say now we're in this loop. The thing I have to do is open the fridge and eat a piece of cake. If I don't do that, the loop won't reset until I eat that piece of cake. Whereas the thing with 12 minutes go by, and no matter what you do in that 12 minutes, once 12 minutes is up, it's going to reset.
I think the former.
Okay.
There is one thing that I have gotten to happen in every loop I've played, and that is the thing that has reset the loop.
Okay.
If that makes sense. It probably doesn't.
Yeah.
But,
no, I get you. So eating the cake every single time made you reset the loop.
Kind of, yeah. I actually don't think I've played a loop for 12 minutes. So I don't know if it resets after 12 minutes or not.
Oh, okay, got it.
But it's not the type of game I would usually play. It's like a top-down point and click, which is
like a classic adventure type game.
Yeah. So not the type of game I would usually, like I said, not hating it. I'm gonna continue playing it because I do intend to finish it. But my thoughts on it so far are it's interesting. I definitely want to see more of where the story goes because it's it's actually a lot interesting. But I'm not super in love with the way you control it.
Okay.
Because I'm not really a fan of point and click games. The only one that I do like is Pillars of Eternity, but not loving it, not hating it, and I will be continuing to play.
Would you say the puzzles are a bit obtuse? Because I've seen some people say that
Yes.
things can be really just wait, I got to do what here? It doesn't make things are just really confusing. They didn't know what to do and how to solve puzzles and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, it's definitely hard. The first 3 or 4 loops I did, I was doing the exact same thing because I couldn't figure out what to do next. But it's it's definitely challenging, but not to a point that's like 100% putting me off.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Because I again, I want to play this game for sure. So once I've like since I've been seeing all the different reactions and stuff, it has me like really curious to find out
Yeah.
like what's going on with this game and like why people are so divisive on it.
Yeah. No, I can definitely see why people are divisive on it. It's an interesting game, I'll put it that way.
Yeah. I will say I've seen a lot more negative than positive for it.
Yeah. I will jump to my fourth one because my third one is actually the one I probably have the most to say about.
Okay.
So I didn't buy this game. My mum did.
Okay.
But because it's my Switch and she doesn't know how to use it and doesn't know how to play video games, she was like, "Oh, show me how it's done." So I have played about an hour of Ring Fit Adventure for the Switch.
And do you like
it's
it? Is it fun? Will you continue?
maybe it's not terrible. It's definitely not as bad as I thought it was going to be. It does give you a workout. So
That's all I've heard.
yeah. I didn't like the setup process because when you put in the cartridge and like you have to set everything up, it took me 20 minutes to get through the setup process for everything. Because you have to
geez.
like, yeah, it's long. Like, although I did watch the optional 5-minute video because why not? But it's interactive, so it's fine. But so basically you have to like put in like name, well, not name, but like weight, age, how intense you want the workout to be, how much you exercise, and then it takes you through like this really long tutorial. That's like it's not. I mean, it's a tutorial. Don't get me wrong, but it's not like it's basically a faceless, amorphous person on screen that's like showing you, "Hey, press this in, pull it, use your leg to move around the leg strap Joy-Con," and it's like it was boring. So I kind of powered through it. But I mean, once you get into the game, it's not a game that's like deep. I'll put it that way. It's not a story driven game, but it's you know, for what the game is, it does what it sets out to do. It gives you a workout. It helps you get fit. I'm on the first boss, so we'll see how that goes. Because the way it works is basically it worked kind of like a Mario game where you have levels in a world. So the first level, or like this video that you watch, is when you release this like villain I can't remember the name of. And then he scampers off to like the third area of this world. So you do like world 1 level 1, world 1 level 2, and then he's in level 3. And then you like, as you're going through the worlds, you like find enemies to fight and you do damage to them by like doing squats or doing like with the thing that like you press inward. You do like you hold it and then release it and it fires a ball at them. But like I died when I fought the boss the first time, so that was fun. So yeah, I'll probably be talking more about it once I play it some more, but not something I expected to be playing this week.
Okay then. All right, interesting.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Okay. Real quick, I actually just remembered. I think I can talk about the thing I couldn't talk about last week.
Oh, okay.
I think I can because I actually saw people talking about it, like writing articles. I was like, oh wait, can we actually talk about this? So pretty sure I can.
Go for it.
I'll no, I'm not gonna do it now. You finish yours and I'll throw mine in there afterwards.
Okay. Last thing I've been playing is like the thing I've been playing basically all week, which is Destiny 2. I joined a clan actually.
Nice.
So I now have actual people to play with, which means I did the prophecy dungeon for the first time last night.
What's the prophecy dungeon?
It's a multi-stage kind of, I would describe it as like a multi-stage strike that is, it's almost like a strike mixed with a raid, I would imagine. So you are put in this room and then you jump through a portal and you're in another room with Taken. and you have to
Yeah.
collect light or dark emotes, or light or dark motes. And once you have enough of each, then there are like two platforms that you jump. So say you collect enough light emotes, you jump into this platform that has light on it, and you press RT, and it fires off the light. And then you do the same for the dark motes, and that opens up the next room. And then you do the same again, and the same again, the same again. Then eventually you get to a boss fight for that stage. Once you fight the boss, then you proceed to the next level of the dungeon, which is this. It's almost like a desert where you have to ride around on your sparrow and find taken blights and destroy them, which there are 3. Then once you've done that, you proceed to the next level of the dungeon, which is this room where you're fighting enemies, you're collecting light and dark motes again, but I don't really understand this part because I was being taught what to do by people who are more experienced in that than me. But
Yeah.
You're still collecting light and dark motes, and then after that you go into like it's kind of like a joint final level, I would describe it as, because you're basically, there are 3 taken like champions, I guess you could call them, and then you have to collect the room's kind of laid out like a triangle. There are 3 taken champions in the corner, and they each have in front of them a platform that has light or dark places to put motes. So you have to collect those, go and once you use the motes in that platform, then it destroys the taken champion and it spawns an ogre that you have to kill. And then once you've killed all 3 taken champions, you're teleported to the room with the final boss, which is this taken person that if you have to stay within a certain radius of him. Otherwise, I think it's called dark entropy. And if you get 10 dark entropy, it stacks over time the further you are away from him. If you get 10, you are dead. So you have to stay within a certain radius of this boss. But halfway, when you get the boss's health down to about half, it teleports you back into that room with the 3 taken champions that spawn ogres, and it's basically rinse and repeat. And once you finish that and kill the final boss, then you're done with the dungeon. So that was interesting.
It does sound like a strike mixed with a raid. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
There's a lot to that.
Like it was definitely fun. It's not something I could do by myself. It's at least not at the level I'm at, which is under, I think I'm at like 1,280 light just now, something like that. So so I think because like the people I've been playing with were talking about how they soloed stuff. So I assume you can do it by yourself. But I've also been doing the seasonal missions because I bought the season pass as well.
Okay.
So I've been doing the seasonal missions, helping Mara solve basically enact her plan against Savathun, which I assume is the lead up for the Witch Queen. There is a massive problem with one of the missions in which, yes, so the seasonal missions are basically you have to go into the Shattered Realm and align beacons to retrieve tachyons, I think that's their name. It's basically like awoken people who are lost, and you work through this thing. You basically go to the Shattered Realm, you find the first beacon, you align it, then you have to defeat combatants, and then once you defeat 100%, then the beacon is aligned. You go and find another one, do the exact same thing, then you go into a final room which has a boss. But when you're aligning beacons, the final enemy will be like an overlord, I guess you could say, which is like a mini boss. And they have, I can't remember what they call them. I'm just going to call them modifiers because I can't think of the name. But basically, the one that I was fighting was the modifier was basically regens health unless you can stun him with like stasis or something. So I was doing that, but because I think I'm like 10 under the recommended light level to do that mission. So I wasn't doing enough damage to him before he was regenning health.
Yeah.
Which is the big problem, because I've seen a lot of people online who like even they're above the light level that's recommended and he's still regenning health faster than you can damage him. Unless you
annoying.
can stun him for a long time. So you can't progress with the mission until you have defeated 100% of the combatants. So I had to get people to come in and help me to finish that mission, which I think is people's main issue with it, is like, even if you're doing it by yourself, there's no guarantee that you will be able to finish the mission because the modifier regens his health too quickly. So I don't know if they're going to fix it. I haven't seen anything to say that they will or they won't, but that's the main issue I have with it, is that I can't, like, it's almost impossible to do it solo unless you're like heavily into Destiny and you have like a super buff build. Is probably the best way to describe it. I will be doing Vault of Glass, I think, tomorrow.
Nice.
So
classic.
Yes, so I will be reporting on that. I can't remember if I did it in the original Destiny actually, but I must have. I'm sure I did. I can't remember. But yeah, expect more Destiny 2 talk next week, because like I said last week when we were talking about the witch queen stuff, I am 100% getting like all in on Destiny, because it's a really fun game. I really enjoy it, and I'm really excited to see where they're going to take the story with the witch queen.
See, you got me wanting to just pop in Destiny 2 right now as soon as we're done. You really got me wanting to, but I know I can. I should not though. So it might be a bit before I get to it, but I'm going to get to it. It's on my system. It's happening. I'm going to be getting back into Destiny 2, and I'm sure I'll be very overwhelmed when I first do that. But it's going to be fun. I remember it. Okay, so much fun. All right. So the last thing that I can mention, I'm pretty sure I can mention this because I saw people talk about it. So last week I had said, "Oh, I don't think I can talk about this game," but I'm pretty sure I can because I've seen people talk about it. Riders Republic beta happened last week. Now I did play it. I played the beta, and here's the thing: I was so excited for this game, man. I was so excited for it. I was ready to play it and everything like that. And the beta just kind of like took the wind out the sails on that one. I'll explain why. So it's a beta, of course. Technical issues are going to be there. There were screen tearing out the wazoo during cutscenes, even during like gameplay, like the woods area. It was a bunch of screen tearing. I'm not one who normally notices that, but I was like, oof, oh geez. Makes it a bit tough to, look at this. But that it's a beta. It's a beta. Technical issues going to be there. It's what it is. You can forgive that. So the beta starts, and it has you in the Republic Ridge, I believe is what it's called. Basically, like your little hub, right? Which although I will say this, the hub is cool because you can go and leave as you please, and like it's a part of the world. So it's not like it's its own hub area like the tower in Destiny, where like you just load into it. Like you can go to it whenever you want to and leave it and just be in the just ride your bike off and then you're just in the open world. It's just a little place in the open world. I think that's really cool. But all right, so the game starts, you're there, and then it has you automatically go into a tutorial for bike riding. Okay, fine. You want to teach me how to do bike riding, but then it has you for a bit. It literally forces you to do one mission after another, after another, after another, after another. Like you can't do anything but what they tell you to do for a bit. And yeah, it's all in service of teaching you how the bikes work, how snowboarding / skiing works, how wingsuits work. I get that, but it felt so restrictive. Like I was thinking, I guess I wanted it to be a thing where like you jump in and like maybe we have one mission for each, and then it's like, all right, open world, go do your thing. We showed you how to do these, go do your thing. But no, like it lasts for a bit where it's like, all right, we're gonna do this mission now, and bike riding is so cool. We're gonna do that. All right, oh man, you're the best. You're gonna kill it. Now we got this over here. We're gonna go do that. And like the literally it takes you to the map screen and highlights the thing, and it says press X. Like you cannot do anything but what it tells you to do next.
Yeah.
So you go do it. It's like, all right, now it's time for snowboarding. And this is how snowboarding goes. And these are the type of things you can do with snowboarding races. All right, go do that. And then you do it, and it's like, okay, now we're gonna go do some wingsuiting. And it's just like, okay, and like here's this type of race. These type of races are really cool. Go do this now. All right, now we're going to introduce this system to you with the leveling system and the ranking. And you need stars to like or increase your rank. And so I'm just like, it was just doing a bit too much, like in terms of attitude and personality, but also throwing things at me where I'm just like, I don't know what this means. And again, part of it might have been because I was playing the game while I was on the phone with my girlfriend. But at the same time, also, I feel like part of it was just like, what does any of this mean? What does any of this mean? Why should I care? Why can't I not just like do races? And like I complete a race, cool. Now I can move on to the next race. Now I increase my rank. Why is it that I have to do a race? And it's like, all right, you increase your rank with stars and stuff like that. And the stars are basically each race has different challenges for you to do. You complete a challenge, you get a star for that race, you know. But it's just like I wish that the stars could have been something else, not the way to increase your rank, if I'm remembering it correctly. So that kind of annoyed me. I was just like, yo, I just want to like do these races and have fun in this world.
Yeah.
So once I was able to actually free roam, also I forgot, like you also get like different tiered gear. So like the gear has like, you know, the color system and the numbers, like point system for gear and everything like that. So there's that too. I mean, I was just putting on whatever the best number was for the stuff. And I honestly didn't really know what the different, like everything has stats. Like this has increased speed and air time and stuff like that and grip. But for what I was doing, I was like, I don't care. I just want to I just want to like race. And like I was having the most fun when I was just able to free roam. And I'm just like, all right, I'm just gonna like ride the bike. I'm gonna ride the bike and I'm gonna do this jump. And then while I'm in the air, I'm gonna switch my sport to the wingsuit or the fly or like jet wing thingy. And I'm just gonna fly for a bit. And I'm like, all right, I see that snow covered mountain there. I'm gonna go over the mountain and I'm gonna switch to my snowboard. And I'm gonna like land my snowboard on the snowy mountain and just snowboard on down. And I want to go up that way. Let me switch to a snowmobile and drive the snowmobile up. And then like that was cool and that is fun.
Yeah.
And I feel like the game is a game where if you want to play with friends, that you'll probably have the most fun playing with friends, like if like in terms of the races and stuff like that. But if you just want a game where you could just like zen out and explore by yourself, then doing that is probably the most fun like solo.
Yeah.
But in terms of like doing the actual races or like trying to advance the story solo, I was just like, I don't care. This is like, you're doing a bit too much. And I guess again, my enjoyment was definitely hampered by the fact that I was railroaded through a bunch of different tutorial stuff for like half an hour or so. I was just like, can I like let the brakes out, like pump the brakes a bit, please. The controls for the like in terms of doing tricks, they're not the easiest. Like it's the scheme is simple. They have two different control schemes, and one of them has you like doing tricks with the right stick. The other one has you doing tricks with the buttons and all. It's simple to understand, and once you get it, it's like, okay, now I get how this works. But even then, once I got it, I was like, I was still like a bit iffy on like, am I doing this right and all like that and stuff. But I made it work and everything. I managed to make it work for myself, so I was having more fun with it and all. Interestingly, I don't know if you can go backwards on a bike or not. Sometimes I could, sometimes I couldn't. It was really weird. I don't know why. Like you would think holding L2 when standing still will let you go backwards on your bike, but that just did not happen all the time. It was like a 1 in 5 chance that would happen. I was like, whatever. If I want to go back, I'll just ride the bike in a circle and go backward, go that way.
Yeah.
But there was that. What other issues did I have? Oh yeah, the like respawn type system. So when you're playing, the game is constantly online, right?
Yeah.
When you're riding your bike, doing whatever, if you crash, you tumble. You tumble, the screen goes like black and white, and it says mash circle to get up. Cool. You mash circle to get up. What it does is it doesn't respawn you back when you crash. It picks you back up wherever you are when you are falling. So, and it picks you back up with the momentum that you had when you were falling. So if you're riding your bike and you're going on down and you hit a rock or something and you start falling, you mash circle to get back up. Once you get back up, you will be picked up wherever you were at that point when you were like wherever you are in the world at that time. you get picked up right there and you're on your bike, and then you just keep on going, which can be good and bad. It's good because it keeps you in the race. Like literally, you can do that to kind of get through checkpoints or like, avoid being lapped by people. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's cool in that regard. You keep your progress. It's also annoying when you fall, you get back up, and then you fall right back into something else. And then you get up and you fall into something else. This was the most annoying when I was doing the wingsuiting or the jetpack thing, because you crash. Like you crash on those, like when you hit something, when you hit the ground, you crash, right? If you're in the air, when you are able to, if you're in the air and not near something, when you get back up from your crash, you're good. But if you crash and then like you fall into the ground, or like you mash circle, and then like when you mash, whatever's in front of you is a rock that you're going to crash into, you fly right into it at full speed. And then you're just stuck in a cycle of getting up and crash, get up and crash. And then eventually you'll get up and it has you standing, not like flying. So you're like, all right, good. Let me move somewhere. You press X though to actually take off again. You press X and you get sent flying like damn near full speed, so quick from like ground position. So then you end up flying something else again, 9 out of 10, depending on what's in front of you. It's very annoying. So they have a thing where you can backtrack, right? You press R1 or right bumper or whatever platform you're on, and you do the backtrack, which is basically like rewind in a racing game. And the rewind itself is like inconsistent because sometimes it takes you back too far, sometimes it takes you back not enough. It's so weird. It's just like not the most helpful. And you can either rewind back to a point, or you could just do it and then just restart the entire race that you're in. Which is sometimes what I would do. I'd be like, I was going to restart this race because I'm not dealing with this rewind system. This is all a hot mess. So that was that. And then the mass races, those are the races that you see in like the trails where like you got like 60 something people all doing a race at the same time. Those are cool because, it's a whole bunch of people. It's actually real people in the races. And I forgot to say, like in the regular races, you can do them either by yourself against computers or against actual people if you want to. It's up to you. But the mass races are all against real people, and they basically just have you go between a number of different sports. So you might start the race on your bike and then switch to snowboarding and switch to wingsuit, then switch back to the bike. It depends. And you do it multiple times during a race. And there's three races in one mass race. So you'd finish one race, then you get to the next race, and you do that race, and third and so on and so forth. And you get points at the end of each one, like in Mario Kart, like in a Grand Prix in Mario Kart. Those are cool just because they're chaotic and hectic and all. They can also be annoying because you get bumped around a bunch because you're riding against 60 other real people and everything like that. But they're fun and chaotic and all. But overall, like I played it and I was just like, man, you done disappointed me. I was really looking forward to this game, and now I'm just like, if it's on the cheap, if it's like super cheap discount, I'll get it. Or like if it's a PlayStation Plus game, I'll do it. But it just disappointed me. And I guess it's because I was looking forward to just having the open world to race, to just like ride around and stuff. And that's still there. It's not bad. Yeah. But I'm not about to pay $60 or $70 just to ride around. Like I want to ride around, but I also want races to be fun and enjoyable. And the progression system to be fun and enjoyable. And none of it really was in the time I spent with it. So I'm not paying 60, 70 just to ride around in an open world. Yeah. That's where I kind of fall down on it.
That's a fair point. Do you think a lot of the negative things in that game come from the like tutorial of like, do this, now do this, now do this?
I will say probably, yeah, that like I was just like, I just want to do this. I just want to like have a good time. Yeah. And like by the time I was able to actually get there, I was like already annoyed and kind of a bit burnt out with the like how just like forced and railroaded me to each different thing. Yeah. I was just like, I was like, give me like the freedom I want, man. Give me the freedom I want. And like, there's a point during the tutorial where it's like, hey, open worlds, like you can explore the open world. I'm like, cool. And I was doing that for a bit. Then I was like, hey, no, actually, you got to do this though. Go do this. it literally took me to the map and said, go do this. And I was like, come on. I just want to like explore for a bit. You're making me go do this seriously? Seriously? So again, not bad. It's definitely it's disappointing. It didn't live up to the hype that I had for it, the excitement I had for it. I feel like though, like if you like the game and you have a bunch of friends that are going to be playing it, like doing races with them will be fun for sure. Exploring the world with them will probably be fun for sure. But if you don't have any friends or you're playing it solo, and I will say, just like riding around the world on your own is still fun. Like I still enjoyed doing that. So I don't know. Again, I don't think reviews will be kind to this game though. Like if the visual, like aside from just the screen tearing, visually it's not all that great. I forgot character customization is like so terrible. It's so bad. The choices you have for character customization, it's literally the barest of bare bones. So I really don't think reviews are going to be kind to this game. I think the highest this game will get in reviews is like 7s, maybe 8s, but I think 7s will be the highest this game gets. I'm not expecting a whole lot great from reviews for this. So if you didn't play the beta, just have that in mind. Keep that in mind for when you do, for when you see reviews and if you do want to eventually play the game.
Yeah, I think I've said this before, but not a game for me. I played Steep. It was okay. I didn't really enjoy it. Yes, this game is different because it's a more diverse lineup of activities.
Sports and stuff.
Yeah, but not my kind of game. Just I wasn't looking forward to it before, and after hearing you talk about it, still not looking forward to it.
Yeah, so that's that. My big disappointment of the year. Womp womp.
And everyone's big disappointment of when they're listening to this is the end of the 23rd episode of the Play to Win podcast. That was a good one, right?
I can't give you a clap because I'm holding my mic, but I want to give you a clap because that was perfect.
Yeah.
That was perfect.
Thank you all very much for listening. Of course, you can find us on Twitter and Instagram at Play to Win Game, where you will get updates on the show, random gaming stuff we post, and cool stuff. So go follow us over there. While you are watching the podcast on here on YouTube, why not go ahead and click the subscribe button and the notification bell so you know when videos go live, like Tyler's prediction video to the PlayStation event that is happening on the 9th. For some reason, I'm losing the ability to speak properly. And also, while you're listening to the podcast on audio platforms, why not go ahead and like it and subscribe so that you know when new audio files go live, audio versions of the podcast.
Man, you need me to tag in here or something?
No. Tyler, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Tyler Miller 2496. Again, I posted all my Ghost of Tsushima Iki Island screenshots and little video clips, like motion videos over there. So by all means, go ahead. Some of the screenshots are like portrait mode ones. So if you want to use them as a wallpaper for your phone, by all means, go ahead. I made them like that specifically because I was like, yo, this is a nice wallpaper shot right here. Bam, there you go. So but aside from that, I also tweet about, again, movie stuff, anime stuff. The past like day or two, been tweeting a whole lot about the new Kanye West and then the new Drake albums that dropped. If you want to read my thoughts on those, follow me over there as well. If you want an idea of what I think of them as of right now, Donda, I like Donda a bit more than I did when I first listened to it. I'm not sure why I finally fall on it. Thinking a 7 at best, maybe a 6.5. It's not terrible, but it's very different. As for Drake's Certified Lover Boy, I like it more than I did Views or Scorpion, which is not a high bar to pass, though, admittedly. That being said, I need to listen to it more. But it's definitely a Drake album. And he's not doing anything new with this one, in my mind. Nothing new. There are some good songs here, do not get me wrong, but it's just like, yep, this is another Drake album. Is what it is. But I'm enjoying it more than I did Scorpion or Views. Got a little bit of music talk out of me on the podcast this week, but definitely go follow me if you want to, see some more of my thoughts on those albums. Karen, what about you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Badlynet, Badlynet, all one word. Iron Maiden's new album came out yesterday, I think.
Okay.
I haven't listened to it yet. It's called Senjutsu. So I might talk about it if I listen. Well, when I listen to it, I don't know. Check Twitter.
Go listen to it. Go listen to it. I don't know why you haven't. I mean, I don't listen to them, but I'm sure that's someone you listen to. So why haven't you listened to it yet? Do it.
I'm getting to it. Okay.
You're too busy playing Destiny. That's what it is.
Exactly. It's more important. But that will conclude this week's episode. Thank you all very much for listening. Hope you enjoyed, and we will see you all next week.
Have a good one.